New Artist Spotlight Podcast.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the New Artist Spotlight Podcast. I'm Wilko Wilkes, and Origin Cross is not with us today, but we do have an exciting guest. So we've got songwriter, producer, multi-instrumentalist, composer, Jane Marie. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Nice to be on. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's good to meet you. And it's been great, reading a bit more of your story as well, researching you and listening to all your tunes has been amazing. Like, you've got such accomplished records in the way that they sound and the way that they feel. Amazing work. So,
thank you.
Yeah, tell us a bit about yourself in your own words.
Well, I've been going a bit of a long time now. I went to uni, studied music, and then a postgrad in film music because I wrote music from a young age, and everyone said, "Oh, it sounds like something from a film, Jane, you need to get into it." So I kind of followed what everyone told me to do. Then was pretty determined to try and do all these things that everyone said I need to do. And I just made up all my own cassettes in those days, and then CDs, and sent them off and chased them and rang people and knocked down doors and got a few jobs from it, BBC things, Channel 4, ITV, that kind of thing. Then I had a family a little bit earlier than planned, so it all kind of came to a bit of a grinding halt because the money wasn't guaranteed and one of us had to stay home with the kids, all that kind of stuff. So it sort of fell a bit to sleep over the years. I still kept my hand in a little bit, but nothing massive. And then in lockdown, we were all obviously 5 of us in a house tearing each other's hairs out. So I kept going to my studio, and somehow, don't know how, but I came up with 12 songs, including lyrics, which I'd never done before. And that was in around sort of 2019, 2020. The songs came to me really quickly, and it's taken me 4 years to now get them out there on and off. So the album is finally coming out on March the 8th, and it's been a year and a bit of releasing song after song. So that's me in a nutshell, really.
Very good, yeah, I like it. You covered a lot of ground there, and looking forward to hearing the album as well, because there's some tracks on there that haven't been released yet, isn't there?
Yes, there are 2, featuring a very special guest from our New Artist Spotlight. So, there's one.
Are we allowed to say who?
Yeah, it's our lovely Andre Guazzali, if I pronounced that right.
I've seen it on your Spotify bio, and it says that it's a Elton John / Kiki D vibe, but I'm struggling to imagine Andres as Elton John, but maybe I'm giving him too much credit here, you know.
No, he does a brilliant job. He's fantastic, and we had a lot of to and fro conversations over it, and he's done it brilliantly. He's done a great job.
Cool. Has he mixed the album as well, or has he just provided his vocals? Just his
vocals on this one. He did offer, but I'd already sort of agreed to do it with somebody else a long time ago. So I said maybe in the future, but no, I just wanted his vocals on this because I loved what he did with that Bohemian Rhapsody version he did. And I also, before he released his first vocal track that he did recently, I don't know how we connected on Discord, and he sent it to me before he released it. So I was lucky enough to hear it.
Wow.
But to hear it, I know, I was very honoured.
So will you send me this track with Andres on, so that I can be one of the first to hit? You know what? Yeah. I'll wait. It's only a week on Friday now, isn't it, that your album's out? I'll wait.
Yes, but I am happy to send it to you. Very happy to. So it's great.
You'll miss out on your 0.04 pence or whatever it is.
Oh, that's true.
It's nice to have a fellow Brit on the show as well. Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Guildford.
Right, so nowhere near me.
Between London and Portsmouth. So
right. Is that where you're from? Or?
No, I'm from Hertfordshire originally. Grew up in a little town called Rickmansworth near Watford. And then I went to university in Surrey, which is Guildford, and sort of went home for a bit and then came back here. So yeah, I'm here.
So what was that like doing? Did you go to London College of Music?
I did after my degree, yeah.
What was that like, doing all the sort of music education?
Well, I actually did more of it at Surrey University. That was really, quite a hardcore. So you do 4-part harmony, and then we analysed so much music. I had lucky enough to have the university orchestra at my fingertips. So they said, yeah, if you want to write for them, do. So we had these composition concerts. So I managed to write quite a few orchestral pieces, which was a massive learning curve. Especially when violins would come up and go, I can't do that, it's impossible. Or, French horn players, that note doesn't exist, that kind of thing. So it's a great way of learning. of learning. Oh, well, I want it to sound like that, but yeah, no, you can't.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, and that's obviously stood you in good stead for the music you're making now as well, because it is very orchestral and theatrical in parts, and yeah, it's a big sound. My favorite is Overloving. Sorry, I love that.
Oh,
Song.
thank you.
Yeah, it's like yeah, really atmospheric. Like I love what you're producing.
Yeah, I can't stay away from my strings, I'm afraid. I just love strings and what they
Yeah, I
do.
do.
They just,
I keep trying to put strings on rap beats, and people keep telling me I have no idea what the strings are doing in that. And I'm like, but I love them. But I'm going to start ignoring people because I do love strings. Yeah,
They do. They just give a whole new emotional element to a piece. So definitely don't ignore them. Get them in there, and they'll change the whole vibe of your piece. And yeah, I think they're amazing sound.
Are you writing all the music then, doing all the arrangement on your own?
Yeah, I do all that at the moment. I mean, I'm always open to change. This is all quite new for me, this whole songwriting thing. But yeah, I've always done it on my own. Write all the parts all in my head, so I do them onto Logic. I've got quite a few good samples, and then I don't mix or master it at all. I send that to this friend of mine who's been doing a lot of it with me. And they often play the guitar parts on the top because I'm not very good at that either. And help drums. I'm a bit weak on drums as well. And then we're there. So I've always got the whole
It can be really time consuming learning to mix and stuff like that as well. And you're probably better off doing other stuff. So you're concentrating on what you're really good at.
Well, I don't trust my ears either. I mean, I do. I mean, God, the poor Adam who I worked with recently, especially on this latest one, My Feelings for You, with Andres on it as well. I was doing his head in by the end, because every time he sent me a mix, I went, "Oh, that bit's sticking out. Well, I don't like this bit." So you'd think I would know what I was talking about, but I don't. I need someone else to give me something to work.
I'm the same though. It's hard when you've had your head in what is essentially a demo, and you've heard that so many times that when you start tweaking with things, it's like, oh, that doesn't sound right now, and yeah, it's difficult to take a step back sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of self-doubt comes in, and I suffer terribly from first mixitis, as I call it. So I love my first mix. I hear it too often, and then everything else sounds weird, which in fact the first mix was atrocious, so I should just
Yeah, I've learned that a few times, yeah. And then you come back to the first mix and you're like, oh, actually, yeah, it was never as good as I thought it was anyway. I can't listen to that now.
Exactly.
So that's cool that you've kind of come back into music as well, and you're hitting it quite hard, releasing an album. That must have been like maybe a pipe dream a few years ago. Do you think how it feel like this is?
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing really. And then I got in touch with, I wrote all the music and then thought, well, I'm not singing it because my voice is not great. I can sing in tune, but yeah, it's not good. So put a few feelers out, came across a family, a really, really close friend of mine, and they said, oh, I know someone who used to sing in my son's band, who's Jess, and she's unbelievable, as you've heard. And she was just turned 17 at the time, because this was early lockdown, really shy, lovely girl. And then, 4 years later, we're getting on so well, and I can send her something and she's amazing. She'll just sing it exactly how I've done the demo on it, which is awful. And I said, if she ever sells any of my demos to anybody, she's in for it. She's got a lot against me at the moment, so lot to hold against me to say. But she said she's great, and she'll do it exactly how she knows how I want it, and she's amazing. She's got these lovely little trills in her voice, and really great. So yeah, she's now gone off to university in her first year, but she's still very much in touch and waiting for me to pester her with my next track. So
right, where's she at now? Is she close still, or
no? She's in Newcastle.
Oh really? Right, yeah, that's where I went to uni. I say went to uni. I joined a course there and then dropped out immediately. But I'm a Newcastle United fan, so basically I just wanted a season ticket. So I applied for the lowest amount of UCAS points required course in Newcastle. Got it, got my student loan, bought my season ticket, dropped out, and then
that sounds like a good plan to get a season ticket.
It was foolish, but I had a good 2.5 years up there before I was completely broke, and then I had to come back to Yorkshire. But hopefully Jess will have more sense than I did at that age.
Well, she loved it, but we've got really good family friends that were down here and have moved up they're originally from Newcastle, and they are huge Newcastle fans. So it's kind of we're Liverpool fans in this house, but it's our Newcastle.
Oh, you're happy today then?
Yeah, oh yeah. There's been a lot of shouting going on in our house today.
Very good. Okay, so let's stop talking about that. Let's get back onto the music.
Sorry.
I know the Americans will be like, "What the hell are these people on about now?" So is that, you know, the video for "All on My Own"? Is that Jess in the video?
Yes, that's her.
Right, that's cool. So you do, yeah, that's really good that you've got that partnership. Do you think you will have it? Do you write songs for her now?
I have started to, yeah. So that one and Over Loving, I wrote with her and her voice in mind, especially Over Loving because it's really low at the start and she's got a really lovely alto range. So yeah, I've realised I'm starting to hear her now when I'm writing stuff. So yeah, it's good. It's really nice, and yeah, I'm really lucky. I mean, she also sings in a band, which is a really quite a hard, heavy rock band, completely different to what I give her. And she sings and writes a bit of her own stuff for that too. So I don't think she's going to be mine for long. Let's put it that way. I think she'll be off and be famous, but I'm going to hang on to her while I can. So I'll just keep writing.
You do right. You do right. Yeah, she's a great talent. Yeah, really.
And she's so young.
Quality to her voice. Yeah, it's reminds me in parts of Agneta from ABBA. Like she's got that richness, but it's kind of like you say, it's quite a diverse voice, isn't it? Like she covers a wide range of styles and.
She does. It's really rich, and she's there's quite a bit of Adele in her as well. I think at times.
Yeah, I can hear that.
But she's only 19 now, and it's just like some of those songs recorded when she was probably just turned 18, late 17, late end of 17, and I just like it's incredible. You wouldn't believe she was so young.
Yeah. So what for you? Like, what came? You told us that you basically lockdown came. Then you got in the studio, wrote 12 songs, but there must be a lot in between there. Like, what gave you was it like an unrealized dream that something you'd always wanted to do, or was it just I've got to do something, or what was it? What was it that made you write like 12 songs in quick succession? Is quite a large workload.
I have no idea. They just appeared, and it's really funny when you like to come back and have the story of how they're written and what I was doing and feeling at the time. And I couldn't tell you a thing. That just literally don't remember it. It's really weird. I have this memory blank of, I got a dog. I do a lot of dog walks, and often I would say at least half of the songs came to me on a dog walk or whilst cooking my kids' dinner. And I'd just quickly scribble something down, sing into my phone. And then I don't remember the bit after that. I don't know if that's a really weird, common thing or really makes me really weird, but I don't really remember how they went from that to being what they are now. So,
no, I think that's really good though. Yeah, I think that the songs were probably always in you, and like you're obviously a natural songwriter, and maybe just the COVID, like the fact that the world stopped and you had more time to just go on solo walks with your dog and be by yourself. The music comes to you sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely did. Definitely seemed to find me. When I was a kid, I used to write quite a lot of poetry, which I was always told, again, your parents blowing you up, but it was quite powerful stuff. I never really thought about it. So maybe that's just come back now in the form of lyrics. But yeah, I love it. I just absolutely love it. And I think when I was doing the film and TV stuff, I didn't love it because I love to write a piece of music and go, that's it. But then with film producers, you go, oh, can it sound like this? I don't like this bit. By the time we finish, they've written it, not you. And you're like, oh, hang on a minute, that's not mine anymore. And I think doing these songs and then finding New Artist Spotlight as a platform to put them on has made me go, oh, I've written them, I like them, and everyone else likes them, and I haven't got to change anything. It's just really lovely to just be able to put them out there and be appreciated rather than, oh, can you change this? I don't like it like that. And yeah, it's just a different world, really different world to the one I started in, and I much prefer this one. Yeah,
you're right. I agree with you. And I think people find it hard to be supportive at times, I think, of other people, whereas New Artist Spotlight is refreshing. Everyone's just supporting each other. And
yeah, it's weirdly nice that I've never come across such a lovely bunch of people before.
Yeah, it's good. And we'll talk a little bit more about those people in the Quickfire 5 later if you're ready for that.
Okay.
So I was going to say, like a lot of the songs that you write in, they've got very emotional themes to them. They've got quite emotional song titles. You obviously put a lot of your own heart and soul and experiences into your song writing. It's very sentimental. Do you want to talk about that a little, or?
Well, yeah, Somebody Out There is the first one on the album, which is mental health related. I think as part of the life of a musician, I've often felt alone. Lots of knockbacks, lots of think you're getting somewhere, then you don't. There was one year when I was starting out that I did 12 pitches for TV programs and I got one of them. That was really quite damaging. Yeah, I mean, I was grateful to get the one, but even so, you think each one, you think you're there. So I suppose that was a bit, and also in lockdown, I think we all just self-assessed a bit, didn't we? And I suppose that one definitely came out of early lockdown. My parents sadly have got Alzheimer's very young, and Fade Away is about, it's as if my mum is singing to me, that one. That's her telling us to let go and don't worry about her, she's fine, because she lost her speech really early on. She's right at the final stages now, but there's still a glimmer in her eye that she knows who we are, but she's just can't communicate in any way. So I think that was a bit of, that definitely came from there. The rest of it, the romantic stuff, don't read too much into it. It's just, I don't really know. Again, I don't really know where it came from. Having said that, I've had some friends that have been through some nasty breakups, so I did help them through it. There's two friends that had some really awful breakups again in lockdown. So there's a little bit of inspiration from that. And How I Miss You, my lovely neighbour that lived around the corner, who was in her late 80s, lost her husband, and she just couldn't be with him during lockdown, and that came a little bit of inspiration from her. So I think, yeah, taking other people's stories and mixing them in and really getting people and how they feel and just pouring it out into music, I suppose, a little bit. But then a lot of it is, I am a very emotional person and a deep thinker, but I can't say, oh, I wrote this album when I was going through a difficult time. It's not really me to say that so much, really. I just seem to just pour it out somewhere. Like you said before, maybe it was always in there. It's come from somewhere deep in the past, maybe.
I think so, yes. And I think it's stuff that we all experience, love and loss and grief. It's all part of the human experience, isn't it? And it's stuff that people can relate to. And like, I always think people don't listen to your songs and wonder what you've written them about. People listen to your songs and relate it to themselves. Yeah, that's a good point, actually, because sometimes I worry, thinking, oh, are they thinking I'm going through a tough time? And really, yeah, like you say, it's just a lot of my themes I think everyone goes through, and I mean, it's just being able to have empathy with other people and recognising other people's feelings, I suppose. But yeah, I when I was young, I lost a really close relative when I was young, and I think that was quite hard to deal with. So maybe that's all coming out in these songs as well. Yeah. It reminds me a little bit of myself, because I've been through some similar stuff, and yeah, I released my first album at age 32, I think, 33.
Gosh, you look so much younger than that. I didn't realise you were that old.
I'm 35 now.
Oh my God, so much younger than that.
But yeah, similarly, it's like, it gets you hooked, music, doesn't it? Like, I feel like now I'm releasing a song next Friday, and it's a song that I started writing in 2021. So it's like, now I'm getting to the point where I'm getting better at doing all the stuff that comes along with being an independent artist. It's kind of quickening up the process. And I just love doing it. Like, I think it's just amazing that we can release music these days without the need for a record label, or without the need for, massive funding or whatever. We can do it anyway and collaborate with our friends or whoever.
And that is really incredible when I think back to what I had 30 years ago, which was, I was making up cassettes. I used to make up my own cassette demos. And now it's just like, oh, send an MP. I remember somebody saying, can you send me something on the, I worked for this guy, wrote a musical for him, and he lived in Bermuda. He came over with this, he was quite a wealthy lawyer as well, who just had a lovely hobby of music. He's a great person to know. I'm going to buy you a computer so you can try and send me this stuff from Bermuda. And it took this guy, he got a special tech guy in to try and do it, and we couldn't work it out with the money, how to send a piece of music across the web that had only just been started. You think now it's just incredible, the transformation in such a short space of time.
It is mad, isn't it? Like, it makes me wonder what it's going to be like in another 15, 20, 25 years. But
yeah, the AI things.
Like that. Yeah, I don't really like the AI thing. I feel like it's going to be easier than, well, I don't know, because it does remove barriers, but it also kind of cheats everything, doesn't it? And removes the process.
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
real joy in it sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, that's the bit where you get lost, isn't it? And maybe that's why I don't remember it, because it's just so I disappear into this puff of smoke and get on with something, and I don't remember what happens after that.
Yeah. That flow state, that's what it's all about. So which of these songs are we going to give a spin to now?
I'm giving you the one with Andres in it. So it's called My Feelings for You. So you're actually going to hear it after all today. And it's Jess and Andres singing it. And it was originally, I had the whole Elton John Kiki Dee thing in my head. But when Jess heard it for the first time, because she didn't know that she didn't know. I always said I wanted to do a duet. But when I played it for the first time, she said, this needs to be on a Disney film too. So it could be interpreted in that way as well. So
we've got a world exclusive premiere as well.
Yeah.
Well, would you like to do the honours of introducing it?
Okay, this is My Feelings for You, featuring Jessica Mia and Andres Guazali.
My feelings for you are so strong. Don't know what's going on. I could just dream of you all day long. Who knew you'd be the one?
So my feelings for you run so deep. I struggle just to sleep. What's a boy gotta do? I'm needy. Will you be mine to keep?
The look upon my face is a giveaway. My friends all say, if someone speaks your name, then my smile won't go away.
You walk into the room and my legs go weak. I cannot speak.
My mind is so consumed with the thought of you and me. I know all of the rules, play it cool. Don't ever look a fool. Mustn't show you I care. Try not to stare. Do all of this, I swear.
I know I'm just so keen, but I can't resist. I want that kiss.
I hope you'll intervene. Put me out my misery. Always follow my heart, not my head. Should listen to that instead, but that just isn't me. I'm too free. There's things that must be said.
Although we are good friends, something's changed with us we've not discussed. It's clear for all to see. We are so just meant to be.
Now my feelings for you
I've
laid bare. For me that's pretty rare. I know you're feeling it too, so please share. This love is in me. This love is in me. This love is in the air.
Yeah, thank you for letting us play that. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, amazing. It sounds to me like you could be doing a lot of sync work, but it's interesting. That's one of the questions I was going to ask you. But yeah, now I'm even more intrigued because of your past. You've obviously already, have you submitted any of your music for sync work or?
I have submitted it just on a couple of little sites that I know of, which has never got. One of them got How I Miss You got shortlisted, and it's still shortlisted for a reality TV dating program. I don't know what it was, but it's just stuck in this shortlisted limbo at the moment. I doubt it was Love Island, but I suppose I'm thinking it's something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I haven't really pushed it massively yet. I would love it to be, if a song gets picked, wonderful. But again, I went to like a one of those like seminar things the other week, and there was a lady there from a publishing agency, and she was going through the whole, we get a brief and then we send it out to composers, and it literally made me feel sick because I thought, I've done this, I don't know if I want to do that again. It was such a stressful time of my life, and so if I write a song and somebody loves it and wants to use it, fantastic. But I don't know how. I would never obviously turn it down, but I don't know. I wouldn't be very. I'd be quite terrified about trying to get down that route again. But yeah, there is obviously that orchestral, emotional connection with visual, I suppose, that hopefully somebody might like one day. But
yeah, that's good. I suppose the more you go into, I don't know, I've had this conversation with people before where people will ask me all the time, like, do you want to quit your job and do music full time? Like, is that the dream? And I'm not sure that is the dream, because I think once the music becomes your job, then not necessarily what a lot of people will say is you'll stop enjoying it. But for me, I think it would be that you then have to go with whatever pays you, and the money will start to dictate where you spend your time, and that time that you spend on music is quite sacred at times, I think. Yeah,
you're right. And I think it's becoming. Look at Lewis Capaldi. Did you see the Netflix documentary about it? Yeah. That just made me think, poor love. His second album just wasn't happening, was it? And the stress of trying to make that money back, you just think, now we've got it right. This is the right way to do it.
I think so, for sure. I think it's a nice life being an independent artist if you can commit to it, and go in with low expectations and kind of realize that there's tens of thousands of us all kind of vying for the same support slot or the same wider recognition. But really, it's like we've said, it's about the enjoyment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And then I know we'll come on to this again later, but when you're with a group like we are, with a new artist spotlight, you just think there is room for everybody. I think that's the one thing I learned. Again, so I'm probably jumping the gun with questions here, but one thing that taught me...
we can always change the questions if you jump the gun too.
When I think what I've learned from being in the new artist spotlight is that there is room for everybody, and when you're competing for things, and like I used to, and sync jobs, whatever, there's only room for one. Whereas this makes you feel like, no, we can all be heard. You can all be heard here, and everyone can appreciate each other, and we're not making millions from it, but there is room for everybody out there. It doesn't just have to be the ones that have got a publisher and push them up the top, and they're paid to be listened to, aren't they? And if you're not, there's people like us out there that are saying, well done, you're brilliant, and I like listening to your music as well, and I'm still going to write mine, and I hope you like mine too. It's just so nice. It's so different.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty unique. Yeah, it's mad. So, like, have you? How far ahead have you planned? What's like? What you're going to do in the next few months, in the next few years? Are you going to start writing more? Or
yeah, I'd hope so. I've got so the album's coming out on the 8th, which everything seems to be gearing towards that day, and then I'm thinking by the end of this year, I've got a few other ideas in my head, and I'd like to get another 3 out before Christmas, maybe. That might not happen. Might just be one, maybe 2. But yeah, maybe nice to try and do a little EP, maybe. Might be putting too much pressure on myself, which case is fine. But yeah, I want to keep going. Just enjoy it now. I've found something that I like doing. It's getting a bit of appreciation. So yeah, I think I will. And I've had a couple of people say from the new artist spotlight, can I sing on something you've done or something? So yeah, I've got a few ideas up my sleeves. It's on my sleeves, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's quite nice as well not to, half of me scared not to have a plan, but it's quite nice to think the world's my oyster. I do what I like. So again, from the support of the group, I don't know what I would be doing without it. I think I'd be feeling a bit, now what? So,
yeah, definitely. Do you do any other sort of creative pursuits? Do you do like art or anything like that?
No, can't even draw a stick man.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, I'm the same. So yeah, I think that's another thing. Like, I feel like if you are a creative person, but you're not taking the time to indulge your creativity, that can be damaging for the mental health, I think. And I think that held me back for a long time, because I was the same as you. Like, when I was a kid, I used to love writing poems and rhymes and stuff like this, and then you just get out of the habit, don't you? It just slips by the wayside.
But there's
And I
always
think-
something that he's
yeah, go
doing
on.
instead. I
Sorry,
think.
no, yeah, I'm talking over you.
No, to an episode, there's always something else that stops you doing it. But especially as you get older, you've got to clean your kitchen, you've got to cook, you've got to shop, you've got to all those things that, oh, I just do this, and suddenly you've really got to set time to be creative and not be interrupted. That's the other thing I struggle with.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, although you've probably got it worse in a household with 5. Where do you get your quiet time? Do you do it in the morning or evening, or?
Probably mornings my best. Yeah. Kids off to school, and then mornings. But I think I'm most creative in the mornings as well. Yeah, first thing.
I'm the complete opposite. I'm the most creative at like midnight, and in the morning, it's not even worth talking to me, let alone trying to get me to write a song. I'm like completely dead behind the eyes until about 2 p.m. most days.
Well, I say morning, I mean once I've woken up. That might not always say.
Very good. Yeah. So I think it's time for an unbelievably devilish part of this podcast, which you might have heard some.
I have. I'm scared.
Yeah, you should be. Okay,
I'm really scared.
You've been brushing up on your Tudor history.
Oh, I know my Tudors, yeah.
Okay.
I do love history, actually. I love history and English language, English literature. I did that for A-level English. Did A-level English, so I like a bit of that.
That's what I like to hear. So you've got no more than 15 seconds to answer. If you do take over 15 seconds, then I am afraid you will be abducted and blasted off in a rocket into outer space.
I quite like the moon. That's all right.
No, it will not be directed, and there's no landing rule, so you'll just be ejected from the Earth. So 15 seconds it is. So
Okay.
question 1 is, what is your favourite song of all time?
Oh God, of all anybody, or just anybody?
Your favourite song of anyone?
Oh, but that's impossible. Oh my God, dude, this is impossible. Oh my God, that's impossible.
Did you say something? Did you say an answer?
No, I said I'm going off in a rocket, which is not the name of the song. I am literally.
Question 1. That's so disappointing, but
Okay,
we'll
but late. I'll think. I'm going to go Elton John.
Which song, sorry?
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Okay, yeah, that is an amazing song. Yeah, I love that. Probably more like Rocket Man now, where you're going.
Yeah, that would have been more appropriate.
Oh well. Question 2 is, what is your favourite song from the New Artist Spotlight playlists?
Oh, that's easy. I can do this one. Why did you go by, artist formerly known as Charlie Black, who now wants to be called David, but I can't call him David.
He's Charlie Black to me as well, yeah. A great tune
It's
as well.
impossible.
No, I know, yeah. I'd have to call him David as well. I don't know. So question 3 is, who is your favourite of Henry VIII's wives?
Oh, I like this one. Jane Seymour, for obvious reasons. Well, actually, no. Well, obviously we have the same name, but she died in childbirth and was meant to be Henry's favourite wife as well. And she's got the same name. Has to be her.
That's good, yeah. Poor old Jane. Oh well. Question 4 is, who's your favourite? Who is a New Artist Spotlight artist that you would love to collab with?
Oh, you. I'm serious. I would love you to rap on one of my songs.
Let's do it. I'm up for it.
I think my kids are all into Drake and Travis and all that lot, and I think it. Yeah, I feel an Eminem Dido thing coming on one of my songs.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. I don't know if the kids will be into me, if they're into stuff that's actually cool. But
They will be.
And question 5 is the famous: if you could spend a day with one other person from New Art Spotlight, who would you choose?
Well, only one, because I've got quite a few.
You can shout them all out if you like, but you've got
Okay, I'll shout them all out. So I've had a few Discord chats with, obviously, Andres in Argentina. I wouldn't mind going to see his setup in Argentina because it sounds amazing. Charles, I've had a lot of chats with him, and we seem to be on quite a lot the same wavelength. He makes me laugh a lot. So I wouldn't mind spending the day with him. And Ed really fascinates me. I think he'd be a great person. I'd love to be a fly on the wall while he's writing with Jeff. I think that would be a really good thing to watch.
I agree. Yeah. I don't know where he finds the energy and the time to do everything that he does, to be honest. Yeah, madness. Yeah, I'd love to spend a bit of time with Charles Connolly as well. Yeah, he gets quite a lot of shout outs on this podcast, actually.
I bet he does. Yeah, he's quite entertaining, isn't he? He does.
Yeah, he's quite enigmatic.
Borderline bonkers.
Yes,
I'm sure
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that, definitely. And I was lucky enough to actually collab with him as well, which was...
oh, yes, you did, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I love that song as well. He did amazing things with it. So we're just going to have to wrap up pretty soon. Have you got any final messages that you would like anyone watching this podcast to know? Oh,
just that my album's coming out on the March the 8th. If you would listen to it, I'd be very grateful. And yeah, that's it. Just thank you for letting me be part of this community, because I love it. I think it's amazing, and it's a whole new experience for me in the music industry, and it's my favourite so far.
Awesome. Do you know have you released the name of your album yet?
Yeah, Songs of 2020, which
right.
is a bit old. This is now in 2024, but I wrote them all in 2020. It's just taken 4 years to get them out. Like a proper artist.
I know the feeling. Yeah. It's not easy. Yeah, especially when you're juggling a million and one things.
Yeah, didn't George Michael take 10 years to write an album? There you go, I'm up there with him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Although I think Prince used to do like an album in 3 days, but he was a different story.
Definitely.
But, well, it's been great to meet you and to have you on. So yeah, good luck with everything. I'll be watching out for it. I'll give your album a share when it's out. And I'm looking forward to listening to it myself as well. I've got a list going at the moment where I've asked for loads of album recommendations because I realised I'd slipped out of listening to albums and I was just listening to my playlist on shuffle. So I've got a 300 strong list of albums to listen to this year. I'll on there ASAP.
Oh, lovely. Well, I'm looking forward to your new track as well next week. I've got it saved on YouTube.
I'll have you. Nice one, right? I appreciate that. Yeah, it's I hate that. I hate the releasing to the self promo and all that. It's like I feel a bit.
I do too, but
I feel like I should be promoting it more, but at the same time, don't really want to.
I absolutely hate it. That's why I get someone else to sing my songs. Well, apart from the reason I'm not a great singer, but I hate that whole look at me thing. That's why I write and hide behind it all. But apparently I keep being told we have to get over ourselves and just do it because that's what you have to do. So there we go.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what people say. But never mind. Anyway, but that's another. And again, it's like the joy of New Artist Spotlight. It's like even if you don't do any promotion, there's still people who are going to hear it and going to give you some feedback and listen to it and share it potentially. And yeah, we've got a good thing going.
Well, yeah, it's brilliant. Absolutely amazing. It really is.
Yes, and it's brought us together today. I'm sure it'll bring us together in the future as well. So yeah, good luck with everything. I'll speak to you.
Waiting for you to rap on my song now, so there you go.
Yeah, get me on it. Yeah, I'd like to do that. Yeah. I mean, hopefully not as long as Stan, because I'm not sure I can write 4 or 5 verses like that. But
yeah, just do a bit in the middle 8.
Yeah, definitely up for that. Yeah, that's ideal. Yeah. So yeah, and thank you to everybody who's listening as well. We'll see you all very soon. Peace out.
New artists.